1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Test complete.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. Woo. Okay. Yeah. I do not miss.
What's up YouTube, it's your boy Tech It Up back at it again with another Tesla accessory video, but this time it's from a different brand. This is from TMA, and I'm really excited to check out this one because the product that we're checking out looks similar to something you would see in a Model S or X. And as you know, I've made a series of videos where you can make your Model 3 or your Model Y look like those vehicles, and this product goes perfect with that. So without further ado, let's check out their website. Just like all the other vendors that we've checked out on the channel, they sell so many different accessories. And I'm looking forward to checking out more if you're interested in that. So definitely let me know down in the comment box. But we are gonna be checking out their 10.25 inch display, which is huge. And I actually wanted to check out version 1 a little, I guess it's a little less than a year ago, but it has some really bad reviews and there were a lot of things that needed to be fixed. So what we're gonna be checking out today is version 2. So as we get to the website, if you go to display screen series and you scroll down, as we scroll down, you see they have various different options depending on what you're looking for. But if we go down to the bottom, we see that here's that 10.25 inch integrated smart instrument screen for your Model Y and your Model 3. It is pretty pricey, but honestly, I like the look of it so much more than what I've had previously, which you've all seen in my videos before. But if we scroll down, there's various different colors. So if you have the wood finish, this is an exact match, which is going to be the option that we're checking out today. But then you have the white option for you all that have the white interiors. But then you also can go the carbon fiber route, both matte and glossy. So plenty of options. And then you also have the choice of picking the Intel version for your older vehicles and then AMD as well. So if you add this to your cart, what you can do is when you check out, you can always use my discount code to take off 10%. That does help out the channel. So if you do that, I do appreciate it. With the discount code, it does bring your total to $683, which is still a little bit pricey. So the way I'm gonna break up this video, just like every other video, I'm gonna show you all the unboxing and then we're gonna install it. And then we are going to walk you through setting it up and show you what it looks like while it's fully operating. And then we're gonna finish the video off with my final thoughts. Packaging is pretty simple. So when you open it, you're gonna have your dashboard, your integrated dashboard. This is the side that goes on the driver's side, has a screen obviously and the power cable. Then you have the other end that runs to the passenger side. So we are gonna connect these two. And to connect them, this is the wood finish. So it has these two pieces that you'll use to connect the two. And it will actually look seamless once installed. And then it does come with both sets of cables for newer Tesla Model 3s and Ys that run AMD. So here's the cable for the power cable for AMD. And then here's the power cable for Intel. And then here's the computer cable. This is the AMD one. And then here's the Intel one. Also, we have our screws. This is what we're gonna use to connect the dashboard together. And then we have our control module. This is where the data cable from both the display, but also the cable from the Tesla's computer is gonna run, and then power as well. That's how the communication happens. So to connect these two, you're gonna take this metal piece and align it with the holes. Now that we have the metal piece aligned with the holes, we're gonna take the wooden piece as well, just to connect the two. We have all of the screws in and we have the two pieces connected. There is one extra screw, but something that I didn't show in the unboxing is that the bags are labeled, and it does come with fasteners if you have a 2019 version. So you'll essentially put these at the bottom of this. So what I recommend doing is opening both doors. We are gonna want to remove this piece right here, which is super easy if you've done it. If you've already done it, you can do it with your hand. But if you haven't done it before, then you'll use a pry tool. Then we're gonna remove this pin right here, and then we're gonna remove this piece. And then next we'll proceed with moving the dashboard panel. Once you remove that pin, then you can remove this, and then just be gentle and it'll unclip. There we go. It sounds bad, but I promise you it's fine. So once you have this piece removed, what you'll do next is remove this piece right here. And then you'll go do it on the other side. As you can see, I have a cable runner right here, and that's from the display that I have installed right now from Handshell. So let's go to the other side and do the same thing. But just like on the other side, we're gonna remove this piece right here. Then we're gonna remove this. Boom, boom. And this is a total of 5 minutes so far. So then what you'll do is you'll lift up, just like that. On both sides, that's up. Same thing on this side, lift up. And now we can remove it. So for AMD models, as I was mentioning earlier, you're gonna take this AMD cable and you're gonna plug it right here in this blue input right here. You see it in there right there. And then what we'll have to do next is run the power cable that I showed you earlier and the ground as well. Ground is actually able to, you can hook up ground right here if you want to. But yeah, we'll run this power cable. There's two ways. You can either bypass the cigarette lighter under here, which means you have to remove this whole piece, or you can just run it through the firewall, which is about right here in the vehicle. I'm gonna go that route. It's really easy. We are about 7 minutes in right now. Okay, so to run the power cable, like I said, you pull this forward a little bit, and then you can tuck it back in easily afterwards. And you'll see that I have some cables already running through here. If you watch some of my, like for example, if you watch my auto presenting door video, I'll have it in the comment box, in the description box. You'll see how I did this, but essentially all I did was just drilled a little tiny hole right here. And this is the firewall. This is meant for this. So what I'll do is just run this through here. And then now that I have that running through there, what I'll do is go to the front of the car, lift the front, and then run this to the battery. There are some things I have to remove first, and I'll show you that. But just to be clear, now that we have this power cable running, what we'll do is, so for example, that harness that we just installed into the AMD computer, we're gonna run a power cable to this female input right here. And then we run this to this box right here. And then what also runs to the box is this cable from the display. To get access to that power cable I just ran, we do have to remove 4 screws. So these 2 right here, these 2 right here, that will remove this tub. But then you also remove this piece, which is held in with clips as well. And then once we remove these 4 screws, it will allow us to remove the air filter, which is held in with these bolts. I'll also replace my air filter since I'm already down here, so I guess you'll see that as well. Let's go ahead and do this so we can get that power cable running directly to the battery. So you don't have to completely remove this tub. You do have to unscrew the 4 screws so you can easily remove the air filter, which I have over there. And then that cable that I ran is gonna be coming in directly through here where you see that yellow cable coming out at, so back there. So then I'm just gonna reach down there to grab, and then we see it's right here. So what I did is just remove this, hooked that power cable to the battery, and we are good to go. We are about 14 minutes in now. What we're gonna do next is connect the ground to this. So all we're gonna do is unscrew this a little bit, slide this in there, and then screw it back in. As you can see, all I did was just loosen this just a little bit, slid it in there, it wraps around the screw, and then tightened it back up. So now we have ground, and now we are good to go to plug power into the power input, and then plug the display into this box, and then we should be good. We have both cables in. We have light indicators indicating that it is working as expected, and then we see that the display is on. I'm not gonna lie, this looks really good. This looks really good. What do y'all think so far? So what I'll do now is seal this, put everything back together about 17, 18 minutes in, and we should wrap this up in about 25 minutes. What we'll do next is just tuck all this stuff back in, just like this. Just like that, and then we'll tuck this box in, just like that. It's installed. Looks good. Now that the new dashboard is installed, I do want to walk you through what it looks like when it boots up, and the setup as well. So when you get in the vehicle, you see that there's a plaid animation. I'm glad that they changed the previous one. I don't know if you all saw version 1 of this, but it was completely different. And this is what you see when you first set it up and you don't have CarPlay or Android Auto set up. But before we set up Android Auto or CarPlay, just want to walk you through the setup here. Let me turn this AC off so you all can hear me clearly. So it is pretty simple. What you can do first is go to settings. Well, before we go into settings, let me show you what you have. So obviously I have my mileage right here. I have the range of my vehicle, my battery percentage, the date, the time. The time is incorrect. I'll show you how you change that in the settings. And then under here, you have, if you just want to see the vehicle. Also, this is for CarPlay and this is for Android Auto. But then what I can do is hit the settings. Not too many options. First, you're gonna set up if it's a Model 3 or Model Y. Then you pick the vehicle color. Mine is gray. And then from here, you hit OK. It's gonna restart. And while that's restarting, I'll show you all what everything looks like. So it is a really nice install. So what we're gonna do here is go to settings. Then we can go to set up the language, English for me, the time format, 24-hour or 12-hour format, what you want the temperature displayed in, Celsius or Fahrenheit, what you want your date formatted as, time zone. That's where you configure to make sure it's in the right time. It is connecting to the vehicle, but as you see, it's actually 4:32 my time. So this is 3 hours ahead. So that's easy to configure as well. For brightness, I always recommend syncing with the car. When I adjust the brightness here, it will automatically adjust as well. I do have my vehicle on auto, my display on auto, so that will automatically adjust this. You can set up if you want it to be in dark mode or light mode. I prefer night mode, so I'm going to keep it there. And then this setup all fun, that is to configure RGB. I'm sorry about that. That's to configure RGB kit that they have, but this isn't compatible yet. So ignore that for right now. And then connection, you see CarPlay or Android Auto. So what I want to do first is show you all how to set it up for CarPlay, which is actually really simple. Let me unlock my phone. You go to on your phone, you go to Bluetooth. You're gonna find WildSide for phone. Pair it. And then once you do that, allow. Here we go. So CarPlay set up wirelessly. And if you want to go back to the main screen, you just hit it here. And then we can easily switch back and forth. It is very responsive, and the display actually looks really good. It's about as clear as some of the other models, like from Handshow, which is extremely high quality. I would say it's pretty similar to the same DPI you get on the Tesla screen. So that's nice, of course. And then if you want to switch it back to the main screen, I'm going to show you something real quick. There are driving animations when you put the vehicle in drive. So when I drive, you'll see that the car is actually moving on a display. And then when I hit the brake, you'll see the brakes show just like that. And then it'll also show if the car is ready to engage in autopilot when it's available. Obviously it's not available right now because I'm in a parking lot, but the same things that you see over here, you'll see on this display. But it's really nice to have it right here. So let's talk about, I know I got to show y'all Android Auto. Let's talk about the airflow. So obviously the vents are right here. I'm gonna actually close this door because it is loud outside. So obviously the vents are right here, and it goes all the way across, just like the OEM dash panel. But what is nice about this is that even though you have this big screen here, the way they engineered it is so that when the air comes over on this section, it actually travels up here and then flows directly to you. I haven't noticed any issues with airflow. It's actually better than some of the other screens. Now, something to consider is that this is all gloss running across here, similar to the Model X and S. So you are going to want a microfiber cloth because you are going to be cleaning this thing just like you clean this. And unfortunately, this is probably my only complaint. My only complaint is that you can't control this screen with the scroll wheel like some of the other screens out there. You do have to touch the actual device. But now what I want to do next is show you all Android Auto. There we go. Now we are connected to Android Auto. We can just hit OK, continue, and then similar to CarPlay. Same Android Auto experience that you all are used to. Something else that you will have to do, same for the iPhone, is you will have to still connect to your entertainment system via Bluetooth. So what's going to happen is your audio from your phone is going to go straight to the Tesla stereo system, and then obviously the Bluetooth connected to this device is going to set up Android Auto, and that's going to be automatic every time you get into the car. You don't have to set it up every time you get in. I only did that for demonstration purposes. I do want to show you all what it looks like from the passenger side as well. I really like how this looks. Looks just like the Model X and S. Overall, really clean looking. So this is what it looks like from the back seat. Model X and S inspired steering wheel as well. I love the look of this. This is the angle from the driver's side. Really clean looking. But that's all I wanted to show in this part of the video. I've only been using it for about a day now. And thus far, I would say it's a 9 out of 10. This is the best looking one for sure. like I said, very few complaints. My only complaint, one of my biggest complaints, is that it can't be controlled by the scroll wheel, so I do have to reach over here. It's actually not bad because when I do put my foot on the brake, the steering wheel lowers and I have full visibility. What you're seeing right now is exactly what it looks like from my POV. But overall, I think this is a great addition. And next, what I'll do is take you all to my conclusion. So in conclusion, I would say that it is worth the price for specific people. And what I mean by that is if you install this display and you only use the metrics that it comes with out of the box, where it shows you the miles per hour and all those things, if that's all you're looking for, then there are some cheaper alternatives out there where you can get that. But if you're looking for something that includes that and allow you to use CarPlay and Android Auto, then this is a good option. I personally like it just by the fact that it looks a lot more integrated and it looks like it came with the vehicle versus the other ones that we've seen historically where it looks like it doesn't belong, but it is cool. And so that's just my thoughts on that, on if you want to spend this much money for something like this. Now, there are some things that I'm going to nitpick just because it is really expensive. So it is a huge screen. I do wish that you could make CarPlay or Android Auto take up the entire screen, which I know that's a software thing and I've seen other vendors do it. So TMA, if you're watching this video, I would love to see that as an option to make it full screen, or an option to make it to where it shows everything from the vehicle plus CarPlay. I really want that full screen mode. Another thing that I would like to see is the ability to control the screen with the scroll wheel, because that makes it so much more useful. Because like even with my old screen, there was a lot of times where I had to adjust some things or go to a different app in CarPlay or Android Auto, and I was able to do that without reaching across the steering wheel. Well, thankfully I have a yoke, so it's easier, but I couldn't imagine having the typical round steering wheel and having to like just try to get my hand through there, but also maybe have to turn. You never know. And then my third complaint would be the glare. Like I said, I'm really nitpicking this device just because it is really expensive, but there's so many things that I like about it. One, the look of it and how integrated it looks. The airflow is better than the other options out there, like with my old screen from Handshow. So those are just some of my nitpicks just because this is a very expensive device. Now, there's so many things that I do like about it. One, it's easy to install. I was able to knock this out in 25 minutes. Now, keep in mind, I've done this plenty of times. So the time that it takes me to complete it is going to be shorter than someone that's doing it for the first time. When I first installed a screen like this, it did take me about an hour just to make sure I was doing everything correctly. But it is really plug and play, and it's something that I think anyone can do. But let me know down in the comment box if that's something you would even try. Now, something else that I like about it is the material. The finish of the wood looks just like the OEM wood finish that you find in Model 3s and Model Ys. And that's something that I check for. I really like third-party accessories that looks like it belongs with the car. Obviously, since the wood doesn't match my interior, I am going to wrap it Alcantara. But that's one of the first things that I check for. Then the screen quality. The screen quality is amazing. It looks just like the screen that you see from Tesla, and the brightness is an exact match, which that's something that I was checking for. I was worried that it wasn't going to match the brightness correctly. Now, I could go on and on about all the stuff that I like about this device, but there are some things that I think should be added since this is really expensive, coming in at $700 after taxes. It needs more capabilities, right? I'm just going to pick on something. I like being able to unlatch the door when I have a passenger, or if I'm picking someone up. And this device has access to all that data. It should be able to unlock the vehicle. It should be able to unlatch the front passenger door, but also the rear door, since it is connected to the computer. I would like it to have more abilities like that. And I know this can be done by software. So TMA, if you're watching this, I would love if you could add some more functionality. Something else I would like to see is this come with a front camera. Just because that's something that's very useful. I've had that before, and I know new Tesla vehicle, well, I think it's just a Cybertruck now. That is something that would be really nice for parking, or really nice just for just a great use case that I've seen some other displays have out there. I know that's something that's really easy to do. Something else that I would like to see it have is the ability to be a hotspot, the ability to take a SIM card. This is such a powerful device. It has a good processor. It's running Linux. I know that there's room for it to do more. So those are just a few things that I think should be added to this device in the future, especially with the ability to unlock doors and unlatch doors. I would love to see it allow the driver to just have more functionality over the vehicle. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you all think down in the comment box. Is this something that you would purchase for your Model 3 or your Model Y? Let me know. I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if there's another accessory you want me to check out from TMA's website or another vendor, let me know down in the comment box as well. And I will talk to you all later, and make sure you keep teching it up. Peace.